she had not been aware when the fire started that the reservoir was not operating. That's part of her job to know. Are you fucking kidding me? That doesn't make any sense. That's wrong. She's supposed to know. That means she's not fit for her job.
Hey Joe, what's in your sights tonight?
Tonight, we're going to be talking about the truth behind the California fires. You guys are not going to believe this. Watch this entire video. You're going to be amazed. Jordan and I found some incredible data. You won't believe it.
There's a narrative?
Oh yeah, there's a narrative. Before we get into that, we're going to talk about the 3 people who are in charge of the Los Angeles Fire Department.
Oh, okay.
And we have the 3 people on the screen.
Kristina Crowley, salary $439,722 a year. Wow. Kristine Larson, $399,000 a year. And it says Equity Bureau Chief. I don't know what that means. Equity Bureau Chief. What does that mean exactly?
Okay, so I have all of their titles and their descriptions here.
Is there an equity type of fire?
Yeah, I'm going to explain to you what that is.
Oh.
So Kristine Larson, she is actually part of the DEI.
Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion.
That's what that's for, the Equity Bureau Chief.
Okay.
That's exactly what it is. So that's the DEI. All 3 of them are technically in the DEI. But it says the Chief Equity Officer, CEO, is responsible for developing, implementing, and monitoring programs that promote equity, diversity, and inclusion. They work with executive leaders and department heads to ensure that DEI is the core value of the organization.
You know what would really help the equity? Preferred pronoun makes $400,000 a year. Suppose preferred pronoun got 4 people in an underserved minority, or you had 4 people from those categories making $100,000 a year. Wouldn't that be a better inclusion, equity allocation?
Yeah, I would have to agree with that. And with all 3 of these together, they're making way over $1 million with the 3. 1.1 million to be exact.
Well, a fire chief is a big freaking deal. I mean, I want a qualified fire chief.
Yeah, but she's not qualified.
Oh, okay.
You think she's qualified?
Oh, I wouldn't know. I don't know anything about
you didn't look her up? Anyway, so we know about Kristine Larson now.
Diversity, equity, $400,000 a year.
Yeah, that's what she does.
Pronoun.
And that's all she does. She doesn't fight. She doesn't do any firefighting. None of these women do, actually. I'm going to go into what the fire chief is supposed to do. So the fire chief and the assistant fire chief do the same thing. Okay. The assistant assists the fire chief on everything I'm going to tell you.
Okay.
Okay? Now, this is going to blow a lot of people's minds. A fire chief is the highest ranking officer in the fire department, responsible for overseeing all aspects of its operations, including managing personnel, budgeting, training firefighters, ensuring equipment is maintained, responding to emergencies, and implementing fire safety strategies within their jurisdiction. Essentially, they are in charge of the entire fire department and its activities to protect lives and property from fire hazards.
That sounds like a very important job, worthy of a high salary. I mean, that you have to pay a high salary to attract good people. So
right, and the assistant does the same thing.
Right.
It's just as a key deputy to the fire chief for overseeing the department's functions and ensuring smooth operation. So now there's 2 people that are in charge of making sure there's water in the fire hydrants.
Yeah, there has to be water in the fire hydrants. I mean, how else would they put out the fires?
Right.
Because I did see something in the news about the firefighters not having the water they need to fight the fires.
Correct.
That much I did see, and I don't understand. Yeah.
And Kristina Kepner, which is the
Kepner.
assistant chief,
Right.
makes $264,468. You see anything that's other than their sexual orientation of being an LBGQ people?
Oh,
Two Kristine is in the KK team.
oh, that's why you said it. Okay, Christine,
And Kristina.
What are the odds of
That, exactly. So Los Angeles Mayor Karen Bass cut fire department funding by $17.6 million.
Okay, so the LA mayor, Karen Bass, cut fire department funding by 17.6 million months before wildfires turned city into hellscape. Okay, so
That's a lot of money.
are you going to talk about that?
Yeah,
Like
it was
where-
actually, they bought stuff with it.
What kind of stuff?
Things that have nothing to do with fire department.
Right.
All right, so let me give you some information that would be interesting to you. So I have a friend of mine who used to work for the FDNY.
FDNY. No
All right?
joke.
No joke. So all of the engines, when they were responding to the fires, were responding inappropriately with too small of a crew.
You mean in Los Angeles?
Anything that had to do with the fire in California,
Okay.
every fire engine that was deployed and going to a fire only went with 3 people
Okay.
on an engine.
Right.
In a serious fire such as this, they're all supposed to be a full crew.
Which is how many?
Minimum of 4 people. 2 inside the structure and 2 as a backup.
Okay.
You can have a maximum of 6.
Okay. So you're saying fire trucks are designed for a crew of at least 6?
4, period. That is it. That's the crew.
Oh, exactly. 6.
Yeah, you need 4 to run the truck.
And they only had 3 per truck.
Correct.
And you're going somewhere with this, I assume.
Yes. So this whole fire deployment was a production, like a movie production.
So you're saying they were pretending to put out the fires, but they
Correct.
had no real intention?
Correct.
Really?
Yes.
And are you the only one who came up with this, or have other people
No, there's
said
other
this?
people that came up with it as well, but I'm disagreeing with it. So if you ever have you seen any of the footage show the firemen with a hose putting out anything?
No, I haven't been paying
No.
that much attention.
No, you haven't, because they haven't done it. They haven't. all the fire trucks, they all have a 500-gallon water tank built into them.
Okay.
All right, they have to be stored that way.
Right, I would.
So-
Yeah, I would imagine that would make sense. Like they have to be ready.
Ready to go,
So
just in
those
case the engine,
trucks-
just in case the fire hydrant doesn't have, or didn't get to the hydrant fast enough to get the water. They have at least 500 gallons, but it goes very quickly. I think it's like 1,000 gallons a minute, so in 30 seconds it'll be empty. So they hook up to the fire hydrant so they can refill it, and then it goes back out again. It's very, very fast.
Okay.
I mean, it's ridiculously quick. Literally 30 seconds, that tank is empty. 500 gallons is nothing.
Okay.
So, so this whole thing that we've been seeing with California has been all fake, and it was designed to destroy all of the property. And this is a rumor, and I'm not sure if this is true. The PDiddy list. Everybody that's been on the PDiddy list, all their homes have been destroyed. So the evidence can't be found of anything.
So that's a pretty strong allegation. I would now, if the P Diddy list had people that by chance were concentrated in a certain area,
They were.
and that was the epicenter of the fire.
Well, they wouldn't do that. It has to be more believable by destroying everything in the area, not just those. More than one person is going to be affected, not just that group. It's that group is the start of it, and then it just spread to more people.
But if I'm hearing what you're trying to tell us correctly, you're saying that the greatest number of people hurt were people on what you call the PDiddy list?
Yes, I actually have a list of all the. Yeah, I have a list of all the people's houses. Mel Gibson's house is gone.
Wow.
Harrison Ford's house is gone.
But those are
Jamie Lee Curtis' house is gone.
those are like central Hollywood like figure types. I would think they would be protected by the government. I mean,
Well, no, Harrison Ford was escorted out in police car,
Why?
leaving his home.
because he refused to leave.
No, they just
Oh, they helped him get out.
yeah, they helped him get out.
Good
Oh
for
my
them.
God, are you kidding me? In an interview on Fox 11, Los Angeles Fire Department Chief Kristin Crowley said she had not been aware when the fire started that the reservoir was not operating. That's part of her job to know. Are you fucking kidding me? That doesn't make any sense. That's wrong. She's supposed to know. That means she's not fit for her job. If she didn't know that, let's hear that AI.
All right, you ready?
Yes.
In the event of a major fire in Palisades, California, the Silver Lake Reservoir would serve as a backup.
What the fuck did you just say?
What?
In Palisades, California, the Silver Lake Reservoir would serve as a backup and emergency water supply. So it's not primary.
Probably not primary.
All right. While it is not the primary source of drinking water anymore, it still holds an important role in ensuring there is additional water available if needed for firefighting efforts. So it's a backup system, a secondary system. It's not a
Right.
primary system. Now, of course, if you're competent at your job, you'll make sure all systems are go, right?
Right.
But it is considered a backup, not a primary. But still, you should always have a backup in place.
Current reservoir level is 136.2% of historical average for today. Pine Flat.
Oh, it's more?
Yeah. It's over capacity.
Oh.
Wait a minute, but that's the Los Angeles reservoir level.
Oh, that's the primary.
That's the primary, and they didn't use any of it
How do you know they didn't use any of it?
because they're blaming it on the Palisades one, the Silver Lake. They're not
Yeah,
saying
but that was a backup, so I'm confused. Why
Right.
would they not use the primary?
they're not saying anything about the
so we
primary.
have so here's the data, right? Data.
Right.
Primary reservoir is overfilled. Okay, so far the data that is somewhat suspicious is the primary reservoir is overfilled, so why is there a water shortage, right?
Right. Because everybody's just blaming the local reservoir, but for firefighting and such, they're supposed to be using the Los Angeles one, which has 794 million gallons of water.
So they're using the Silver Lake to deflect the...
Yeah, they're using the Silver Lake Reservoir to deflect the problem, which had nothing to do with that, and that was the backup, not the primary.
Okay,
Which
I'm writing this down.
raises a red flag, which means that means is there a little knob somewhere that shuts off the Los Angeles? Can you ask AI if there's a cutoff? Is there a cutoff from the Los Angeles Reservoir to feed Palisades?
You mean like what's the actual mechanism whereby
Yeah.
the firefighters
Do they
decide where the water comes from?
Yeah.
All right, that's going to be a tough thing to ask AI, but I will try.
How can California divert water from each reservoir, maybe? I don't know.
Well, you want to know the actual mechanism. So I'm going to phrase this really carefully because I'm talking to a large language model, not a human being. So I have to phrase this very carefully. So you've given me 4 different reservoirs as sources of water for the Palisades, California firefighting efforts, should the need ever arise, period. What is the actual mechanism by which the fire department chooses where the water comes from to fill up their fire trucks? Question mark. Okay, so here's what the Snapchat AI says. The fire department typically relies on a network of fire hydrants connected to the municipal water supply system. Okay,
Oh,
so
that's
we gotta
different.
write that down.
That's different.
So hydrants, that sounds like they're using drinking water to put out fires. That's kind of wasteful, isn't it?
Yeah. An important reservoir was offline when the fires began, but that's a backup reservoir. They're pointing fingers at the wrong location, and they're making it seem that it was a
Huge blunder, right?
yeah.
Maybe
they're
it
making.
wasn't.
I know. Maybe something else. Maybe that's what I'm saying. That they're focusing on Silver Lake,
Yeah.
and it wasn't Silver Lake is not the source.
So let me tell you
Yeah,
what
go
AI
ahead.
says. These hydrants draw water from the nearest available reservoirs and water mains. The choice of which reservoir the water ultimately comes from is managed by the Los Angeles Department of Water and Power. They come up a lot. They're up. So this whole thing, so you can't separate the fire department from the Los Angeles Department of Water and Power, which is LADWP. LADWP is maybe just as important as, do they call it FDLA? Is that what it's called?
FDL.
Like we have FDNY, is it called FDLA?
I don't know. Probably.
So they are an important component in this. So the fire department can't exist without cooperation from the LADWP. So,
Wow.
which ensures that there is adequate water pressure and volume in the system. Firefighters will use hydrants closest to the fire, and the LADWP's infrastructure will direct water from the most appropriate sources to maintain supply and pressure. So the LADWP is just as important as
It is the source.
Yeah, and I need to know the abbreviation.
But the thing is that LADWP is to blame for this fire, for not being able to put it out, because that's their job, is to make sure that they have adequate power and adequate water for everything, including firefighting.
Now the W stands for water,
Right, and P
and
stands
the
for
P
power,
stands for power.
and the D stands for the department.
That's right. Now, what's the abbreviation for the Los Angeles Fire Department?
LAFD.
Okay, so LAFD.
So that's weird. That's backwards. So we call it FDNY,
Yeah, FDNY.
Fire Department of New York, and they do Los Angeles Fire Department, which makes more sense.
Wow.
So it should be NYFD,
Yeah.
technically, if we're going to do it that
It
way.
would make more sense.
Yeah.
They're smarter than us.
Who?
The
What,
Californians.
Californians? Yeah. Not
Well,
in this situation.
Not in this situation.
No.
I mean, overall, they have a better climate than New York, but
Because they're majority electric vehicles there. That's where everything's tested.
oh yeah,
Because the California emissions are
yeah,
higher standards there.
yeah.
So where does LADWP get its power? LADWP operates 4 natural gas fire generating stations within the city boundaries. Okay, that's
Natural
power.
gas. That is carbon emitting. So let's get back to this. Okay. So we have some components here. We have the LAFD and we have the LADWP. Now they have to have a good working relationship with each other. The LAFD can't do anything unless the LADWP gives them the water.
Right.
And the Silver Lake is a backup.
So we're doing research on the fly here, and this is getting to be very interesting video.
Well, this is called investigative journalism, but neither Joe nor I are investigative journalists, so we don't know what the hell we're doing, actually.
We're just two guys talking.
We're just two guys talking with AI.
What do you mean we don't know what we're doing?
I don't know anything about firefighting. I mean,
Yeah, but we're finding the backbone of it.
well, maybe. We need to talk to a real firefighter.
So you
know?
know it's really interesting. Maybe the
LA.
LADWP is to blame, not anything else. So the Los Angeles Department of Water and Power has dropped the ball on this scenario, and they're the problem, and not maybe not the LAFD.
Not those brave women that
Yeah.
have trained for years. I'm talking about the fire chief and the assistant fire chief.
And she claims what we said before, that she wasn't aware that they were down.
Maybe it was LADWP's job to monitor the water supply, since the W stands for water.
And communicate with the chief to let her know that there was a problem.
So
And they
maybe
didn't
it's
do
not
that.
the fire department's problem. It's,
Wow.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be a kick?
Well, it would, because they could be very brave people
Well,
who
so-
have devoted their
so-
lives to fighting fires.
We're going to put a different spin on this.
Yeah.
We're blaming them.
We're talking about DEI like it's the problem, but it might not have
be
anything to do with it.
Introduction. The Los Angeles Department of Water and Power maintains a vast water system with about 7,341 miles of main lines and trunk lines, along with related infrastructure and storage facilities that are critical to delivering high-quality water to Los Angeles residents and businesses. The Water Infrastructure Plan, WIP, work in progress, I would think. Or no, Water Infrastructure Plan describes infrastructure accomplishments and goals that are a part of the LADWP's $6.3 billion five-star water system capital plan. All major water infrastructure components are evaluated through an ongoing assessment management (AM) program to systematically manage assets to achieve the lowest cost of ownership, including capital, operations, and maintenance costs. The AM program data and analyst is continuously being improved and refined. Not in this situation. They dropped the ball on this fire. So this is where we really need to focus on, is them. The LADWP dropped the ball, and no one's pointing the finger to them at all.
I wonder why.
I wonder why. So we need to find out. So we found out that the Los Angeles Reservoir is the primary source of water.
According to AI, we did.
Yes.
That's what AI says.
So
Yes.
the backup, the one that's physically on location or closest to it, is a backup for firefighting.
That's Silver Lake.
The Silver Lake is a backup. The Los Angeles Reservoir is a primary for
Right.
all firefighting needs.
And the idea of using municipal water for firefighting and not separate water, not knowing anything about firefighting, it surprises me a little bit, because, drinking water seems like it's such a precious thing, and agricultural water seems like it's such a precious thing. But, again, I'm speaking out of my knowledge base.
Yeah, but it has nothing to do with that. We're just two guys talking, trying to get to the bottom of this problem.
I know.
But it seems to be that it seems to be, from the information that we just gathered this evening, is that the LADWP is to blame, not providing the LAFD with water to fight the fire, regardless if there's only 3 people in a truck.
Maybe you could give the LADWP a call tomorrow and ask some questions?
I'm a journalist from just two guys
Yeah.
talking. I'm just curious.
I'm a journalist from New York. I'm doing a story on the Palisades fires, and I have some questions. Would you be willing to answer a few questions? And they may just hang up on you when, they hear that.
Fire and windstorm information. Oh, wow. LADWP is issuing a do not drink notice
Oh, read that. That sounds interesting.
that replaces the previous boil water notice for Pacific Palisades zip code 90272 and adjacent communities in the LADWP service area north of San Vicente
How do you spell
Boulevard.
that?
Vicente. Vicente Boulevard?
Vicente? I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Vicente Boulevard. Under evacuation orders due to the potential of fire-related contaminants.
Those are those PFAS chemicals that they use in the fire retardants, which they never leave the environment, they never leave the body. Those PFAS, it's a whole class of chemicals that...
It would have been better off if they used salt water, because that wouldn't be a contaminant.
Salt water, yeah. I mean, I would prefer salt water to that fire retardant crap that stays in the environment of the earth forever.
So this is similar to having a nuclear explosion and having it radiated, and now they can't. Well, they won't be able to build on that.
I mean,
how long is they got to demolish an entire area, flatten it out, take all the debris out?
Now, is this a really rich area?
My God, some of these houses are like,
let's ask AI.
$45 million.
What's the median house price in zip code 90272? You ready for this?
Yes.
I can't believe this number. All right. As of the most recent data, the median house price in zip code 90272, which covers the Palisades area, is around $3.5 million.
Hold on. I got it right here.
I want you to hear this, Joe.
Yeah.
Keep in mind that real estate prices can fluctuate. You think it's going to fluctuate now? You think you're going to go buying a house in 90272 now?
All the insurance companies dropped out of everybody. No one has insurance.
Now, what do you mean by no one has insurance?
They dropped everybody. Majority of the insurance companies dropped everyone prior to the fire.
How do you know that?
Because all over the news.
So these rich
it's
people...
very similar to 9/11.
So let me see if I'm understanding. This is another piece. So you have these really rich people in 90272, and you're saying before this fire, the insurance companies pulled out?
Yeah. Yep.
Did they give a reason? Was it climate change?
No, I didn't. I don't know the reason. I made up a reason.
All right. So now
they're in the fire belt.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? Because of such a high risk of fire. You know, you have like a hurricane belt and a tornado alley, and they said because of so much damage, the insurance companies will go out of business. 7,000 houses destroyed. 7,000. Oh my God!
So you're telling me that insurance companies pulled out of a large number of homeowners before this?
Yes. Yep.
Let me write the zip code down because we have a lot of data here. We're doing investigative journalism. 90272. And you know this from the news, right?
Yes.
And did it say when they pulled out? Was it 2 years ago, 10 years ago? Was
3 months ago.
Oh, recent pullout.
Yeah.
Like they could have known? Is that what you're suggesting? Like the insurance company executives could have been warned? Well, I mean, they might have known just because, obviously there have been fires in California for years.
First, they lost their home insurance. Then LA fires consumed their homes.
Oh, this is the LA Times. What?
Anywhere. California Insurance Commission addresses homeowners policy cancellations in LA. Los Angeles wildfires magnify California insurance crisis as homeowners face $10 billion in losses.
So now we're talking about very rich people.
Yeah, I know, but that's not the point.
I'm not saying, I'm just...
Oh, they can afford to lose the home?
No, that's not what I meant. What I'm wondering is...
I know you rephrase what you said.
Yeah, but I didn't really make the connection. I said we're talking about very rich people, and this surprises me because usually the very rich people, they're so well connected that they don't like.
They have other homes, other states. This is not their only single home.
I know.
So they can. A lot of people have Maine. They have Washington State. They have probably here in Manhattan. I'm sure they got places. They have apartments. They got places everywhere. No one's going to have one home when you're that wealthy. But the winner of the Powerball in 2022 lost his house too.
What is the price of the most expensive house approximately in 90272 zip code? Question mark. Oh my God, $20 million.
20. Oh my God. Ask how much the most expensive house is in Malibu.
How much is the most expensive house in Malibu, California? Question mark. I would imagine that would be more. Malibu is like home of the stars. Yeah, 50 million to
Okay.
100 million.
Damn.
So Palisades is not Malibu. I mean, it's nothing to sneeze at, but it's not Malibu. Okay. So I asked the AI, I said, if there was a fire in Malibu, California, would the water that would be used to fight that fire come from the same source as the water that would be used to fight a fire in Palisades, California? And Snapchat answers, the water used to fight fires in Malibu and Palisades might come from different sources, as each area has its own water supply infrastructure. Both areas rely on their local municipal water systems, but they are managed separately and draw from different reservoirs and water mains depending on the location.
Wow.
So now I guess we have to ask if LADWP manages both of those regions.
Well, they have to.
Well, let's see, because maybe it's called something else in Malibu. Maybe Malibu has maybe Silver Lake is
Oh, you
primary.
mean similar, like a different, like, you know, we have separate towns here that have
Yeah.
their own police department.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Is the LADWP in charge of the water supply of Malibu, California? Question mark. No.
What?
Okay, so now we're in details, Joe. See, this is details. The Los Angeles Department of Water and Power is not in charge of the water supply for Malibu, California. Malibu's water supply is managed by the Los Angeles County Waterworks District number 29.
Oh my God. There's so many people at fault here.
Well, so I guess my question is, now we have two regions. I thought we were just talking about Palisades. So Malibu was affected also?
Yes.
Which was affected worse, Palisades or Malibu?
They're both decimated. They're both gone. Doesn't matter.
And they're all rich people, but the Malibu people are like hyper rich people, right?
Right.
They're the super rich. I mean, Palisades is rich, but Malibu is like crazy rich. Am I right?
Yeah. Well, those houses are beautiful. There it is.
So I think we'll have to pick this up next week because
Yeah.
we're getting into some details here. Different water supply. Rich
Malibu,
and
California.
hyper-rich.
Public safety. Oh my God. Los Angeles Waterworks District 29, what you just said.
Yeah. I wonder which has better water, the more expensive place or
Ask-
the less expensive. Well,
Ask. Oh, here you go.
I don't think you're going to get that.
Sure you
but-
will.
Well. What has better water quality for drinking? Malibu, California or Palisades, California? Question mark. I don't think you're going to get a straight answer from this, but both Malibu and Palisades, California have good water quality standards for drinking, as they are regulated by state and federal guidelines. You know how good they are.
Right.
However, the specifics of water quality can vary based on local water sources and treatment processes. For the most accurate and current information, you can check the annual water quality reports provided by the local water authorities for each area.
Wow. So now we have.
And what is, I want to find out the zip code from Malibu. So this is why investigative journalism is so difficult.
All right, so now we have two water companies. So the LADWP and the County of Los Angeles Waterworks District 29 are both at fault for not providing water for the Los Angeles Fire Department. And that's what it's looking to be, because the Silver Lake Reservoir is a backup for the Palisades Fire Department. However, the Los Angeles Reservoir is a primary for Palisades, and or it could be also, we didn't ask that.
In the event of a wildfire in Malibu, the most important reservoirs would be the Las Virgenes Reservoir and the Malibu Lake Reservoir. These reservoirs are crucial because they store significant amounts of water that can be quickly accessed to combat fires. Additionally, local water tanks and the municipal water supply infrastructure would also play vital roles in providing. So the Silver Lake is not even
It's not even part of it.
So
No.
Malibu is completely different. So we need to know, is this news narrative that is currently being covered, is this Palisades the epicenter of this news, or is Malibu? Because it's a different set of reservoirs, and it's even a different water supply situation.
Yeah, so we're going to come back to this topic next week, and we're going to get more information, and I'm sure that I believe that the viewers will be doing the same. And if you come up with any information, please don't hesitate to email me. My email address is in the about information of my channel, and please send me all data or information you find, and we will report it for you.
And with that, we're just two guys talking. Take the lead. You want me to say, hey Joe, what's in your sights today?
Yes.
All right, let me know when you're ready.
All right.
Now, could you sit a tiny bit behind me, just because
Because I'm so big?
Yeah, it'll look better. It really will.
All right.
Tell me when you're ready.
Hang on, I'm almost ready. Let me
Yeah,
just
see, the
make sure.
proximity effect, really, it's a big difference.
I did plug this in, didn't I? I did.
And with my puffy jacket, I sort of look,
You're gonna leave it? You're gonna leave
definitely.
it
It matches the hat. Definitely. And it's New York. We're in the fucking New York winter. It's like, what, 30 degrees out or something? At least it's not 17 like it was a couple of days ago. That sucked. And I had to take a bike ride in that. That sucked.